White rice is one of the most widely consumed staple foods in the world, valued for its mild flavor, soft texture, and versatility in both savory and sweet dishes. It's a dietary cornerstone in many cultures, forming the base of meals from Asia to Latin America. But despite its ubiquity and comforting appeal, white rice is a refined carbohydrate that offers minimal nutritional benefit and, when eaten in large or frequent quantities, can quietly contribute to several health concerns. While it's often seen as a neutral food, especially in comparison to more overtly processed products, white rice's impact on blood sugar, metabolism, and weight regulation deserves far more scrutiny than it typically receives. The primary issue with white rice lies in its refinement. During processing, the bran and germ layers are removed from the rice grain, leaving behind the starchy endosperm. This gives white rice its smooth texture and extended shelf life, but it strips away almost all of the fiber, vitamins, and minerals that exist in the whole grain. What's left is a simple carbohydrate that is digested rapidly, leading to a swift and significant spike in blood glucose. These spikes not only stress the body's insulin response, but over time, they can contribute to insulin resistance, a key driver of weight gain, type 2 diabetes, and other metabolic disorders. Fiber plays a critical role in slowing down digestion, moderating blood sugar levels, and promoting feelings of fullness after eating. Without it, white rice behaves much like sugar once it enters the bloodstream, causing quick energy bursts followed by crashes that can lead to increased hunger shortly after a meal. This makes it far easier to overeat, especially when white rice is served as a large base under calorie-rich sauces, fatty meats, or fried sides. It encourages a pattern where meals feel incomplete or unsatisfying unless consumed in large quantities, often leading to an excess of calories without adequate nutrient density. Another concern is white rice's glycemic index, a measure of how quickly a food raises blood sugar. White rice has a high glycemic index, especially when served hot and freshly cooked. Frequent consumption of high glycemic foods has been associated with increased risk of obesity, heart disease, and inflammation. For people with prediabetes, diabetes, or other metabolic issues, white rice can be especially problematic. Even when portioned carefully, it can contribute to glucose instability and make blood sugar management more difficult. Culturally, white rice is often seen as a staple rather than a side, which compounds the problem. In many cuisines, rice takes up a substantial portion of the plate, often crowding out vegetables or legumes that would provide fiber and balance. The portion sizes served in restaurants and home-cooked meals alike tend to be far larger than necessary, especially in regions where it is eaten multiple times per day. In these contexts, white rice isn't just a background food. It becomes a primary source of daily calories, despite offering little in return nutritionally. Compounding the issue is how easily white rice pairs with other high-calorie, low-nutrient foods. It's commonly served with fatty meats, sugary sauces, or deep-fried accompaniments that already burden the digestive and cardiovascular systems. The rice itself may seem benign, but in combination with these foods, it acts as a vehicle for calorie overload. And because it lacks fiber or protein, it does little to offset the glycemic impact or support long-term satiety. There's also an environmental and economic angle to consider. The mass production and overconsumption of white rice in place of more nutritious grains or legumes has displaced healthier options in many regions. In some cases, this shift is driven by government policies or industrial farming practices that prioritize yield over nutrition. As a result, many populations, especially in low-income areas, end up relying heavily on white rice not because it's the best option, but because it's the most available and affordable. This creates a cycle of nutritional deficiency masked by full stomachs. Even when fortified, as some commercial white rice is, the added nutrients do not match the complex benefits of whole grains or naturally fiber-rich foods. Nutrient fortification may help address specific deficiencies like iron or B vitamins, but it doesn't resolve the rapid blood sugar spike or the lack of dietary fiber that define white rice's overall nutritional profile. Fortification is a partial fix, not a substitute for whole food nutrition. It's important to note that occasional consumption of white rice, particularly in well-balanced meals that include protein, healthy fats, and vegetables, is not inherently dangerous. The issue arises when white rice becomes a dominant feature of the diet, displacing more nutrient-dense options and reinforcing a pattern of high-carb, low-fiber eating. In those cases, it becomes a silent contributor to chronic disease and weight-related issues, even as it masquerades as a wholesome staple. Ultimately, white rice's simplicity is both its strength and its weakness. It's easy to prepare, easy to eat, and easy to overconsume. Its role as a cultural and culinary staple should be respected, but not romanticized to the point of ignoring its health impacts. Transitioning to whole grain alternatives like brown rice, quinoa, or bulgur, or at least moderating white rice portions and pairing it with high-fiber foods, can offer a significant improvement in overall dietary quality. White rice may not be the worst offender in the modern diet, but its subtle effects are far-reaching, and when it's eaten in large volumes over time, it becomes a quiet driver of bigger health problems.